I have arrived. So here we are. Arrived and such. You know, I feel that we need to do a couple of things. I've got extra materials so that I can quickly teleport myself around, should I need to. And I probably will. Got plenty of food, sausages for days, meat, all the good stuff. Yep. Got building materials. Yep. I'm going to go and get things a quick repair. Does anyone need a quick recap over what we've got, where we've got it, etc., before we jump into the swamp? Or are we good to go? I do need to work on the defenses a little bit more as well. I could do that quickly. I say quickly, knowing that it's probably not going to be quickly, but I could at least bring the palisade around to over here somewhere, just to seal off that side. We would then have one side of the camp fully isolated, which would mean that we could then look to place some spikes on this side, knowing that enemies have to come around here. A recap would be good. Okay, well, I'll give you a quick look at the camp we have as is. How are our carrots doing? They're growing. Do I have any extra carrot seeds? I do not. This makes me sad. I do need to plant more trees. Quite badly, actually. As you can notice, there used to be trees here. Now there are not. What's that? Is that a dandelion? That's a dandelion growing through the floorboards. Fair enough. This is our tree. A great old oak. We've decided to make this a bit of a ritual tree in this design. This is our very, very modest garden. It does need to be expanded a bit. Has this been set up as home? Yes, good. That's going to be our temporary portal when I'm out and about exploring. These are our portals right now. One goes to Tide's Longing. The other goes to Wraithguard. And I will show you on the map these locations. So this is the world as we know it. I've marked a bunch of places that I need to go and investigate and properly extract some more resources. Emberlight is basically our home. Fair Nights is where we first started, and it's got a very humble camp. It's named Fair Nights because it's the only way you can sleep there, because if the night is rainy, it puts the fire out, and you can't sleep if there's no warm fire. This old town, we basically house flipped one of the houses in an old ruined settlement. Emberlight was set up specifically from scratch. Troll Scorch, the location where we first discovered trolls and started hunting them. I am wearing a troll basically at the moment. In fact, we'll park down a moment. Then we went on to Raid's Mouth, our first investigation of dungeons, and since it was effectively a place for us to raid those dungeons, we named it that. But then that was also the while we were preparing for it, while I was building it, it was the first place we actually got raided ourselves, because the enemies in the world aren't idle, and they came to me, so the name was doubly fitting in the end. Then we made Tide's Longing. This is the first kind of right on the edge of the water sort of build that we made. It's a little place so that we could mine some copper. We have sailed all around this area, up and around and down through this river, down onto this side, following the coast, as you can see. This is where we fought our second boss. This is where we fought our first. And we have more or less mapped the coast of this island. We've still got a little bit over there. But yeah, shenanigans happened in the last stream. This is a desperate little camp. Basically, we came down here and we started to establish our new kind of staging base for raids into the swamp, and indeed the plains as well. And we died. We died after I had disabled the portal because it was making too much noise while I was building. Smartest moment? No. Quite the opposite, actually. But on the plus side, it spawned an adventure because we had to go on a corpse run because we respawned over here, so I had to get down there, build a raft, sailed across the ocean, got attacked by sea serpents, managed to survive, carried on down, ran down along the coast all the way. Found that I was running out of coast and running into swamps, so backpedaled a little bit and then went down here. This was one of the last places that I could set up before I went into the swamp. There was a decent chance that I would die, so I set my respawn here. We call this Despair's Folly, because honestly, I was despairing at my folly for having oofed the portal. It was a lot of fun, though. Honestly, that was one of the best, the best parts. Just the shenanigans that occurred while we were running to try and get down there, because we had to do all of that on foot with not very great gear. This is Emberlight. This is my main abode. Up here, we have my bedroom. It's a humble bed. There's nothing much right now. We've got some treasures. Don't know what to do with them yet. Various ingredients for various things. Not really using them yet either. And you know, our more equipment style storage there. Then over here, we have our craft and storage halls. This is where I keep all my gubbins. This is the Gubbins Grotto, effectively. Affectionately named by the Dapperlings. And this, right here, is my little beehive area. Though I am probably going to move them over to where we currently have our farm. And that farm will then move elsewhere, and somewhere built to purpose. We'll keep a couple of hives here, because I think they look nice. And we'll have a couple of hives over in the space where our farm currently is. Oh, hello. That is a shaman. What are you going to do? Nope. Thank you. There we go. Nice and dealt with. These are our kilns, our forges. This is our bonfire made from wood that we got from the swamp. Now, I'm hoping that when it rains, it can't put out the bonfire. Otherwise, you know, what's the difference between that and a regular fire? Other than size and grandeur. We have our workstations here. The metal workstation and the repair station. Both reasonably high level, but not super high. Right, I need to keep 10 of these on me to be able to make a portal. I don't need the wood. That can stay there. Definitely don't need the stone. That can stay there. And the resin can go over here as well. So there you have it. That is pretty much the long and the short version of that story. So is the elder down? Yes, I've slain the elder. That's its head. And that is Ixthir's head over there. My prized hunting trophy. Okay, now then. Big question then, chat. Finish off the palisade on that side first, or let's go straight to the swamp. Let me know what you fancy in chat. Melody, wow, I can't wait to get on to the next 2 stream VODs. Missed a chunk. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Straight to the swamp. Don't forget the swamp key. Okay, I can pick up the swamp key as well. How about exploring the rest of your island? There may be another swamp. That's true, actually. Yeah, there might be. But we're going to grab the swamp key and we're going to head to the swamp, as it appears to be what chat would like. You know what? I am running low on fire arrows. Do I have enough wood? Yes, I do. Do I have enough feathers? Yes, I also do. Let's go and make some more fire arrows. Yep, it looks like this can this does not get put out by the rain. That's actually quite cool. I like it a lot. Right, let's make a bunch more of these. Also, who dat? Who dat and what they do? Seahawk, thank you very much for that tip. Okay, so Odin sent me a message and said he would like an offering for the end of the stream, trophy building, and he will reward you with 10 oxen and 20 sheep. Well, I'm a fan of sheep, so I've never met an oxen, so I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. We will see what we can do. Now the question is, did Odin want an actual building for the trophies? Or for me to simply mount trophies somewhere? And that is an important question. Because one involves a lot more effort than the other. If possible, some poison resistance. That is a stonkingly good suggestion. Also, ooze bombs. I want to know what these do. Let me see. Don't think I've got enough. I think I needed 10 ooze. Yeah, I did. Okay. But you're right. A poison resistance potion would be really, really clever. But the thing is, it's going to take me a long time to get it. It would take me 3 days. However, I could do it. 10 coal, 1 necktail, 5 thistle, and 10 honey. Do I have a necktail? I don't. Alright. But that is actually a really good suggestion. That's a really good suggestion. Okay. For us to get that, I'm going to have to do a bit of bouncing around. We're going to need to go to Tides of Longing and go up into the Black Forest over there, get some thistle, and that will allow us to also explore a little bit around that area, I guess. I could go back to Wraithguard. A bit of a long way. That's a bit of a long way to walk through a swamp in order to do this. So I think we're going to go to Tides Long, and we're going to specifically hunt for some thistle. We're also going to have a look, see if there's any crazy, interesting things going on in the sky. Not seeing them yet, sadly. So many details in this game. It is absolutely worth looking up at every opportunity. All right, we're going to go and get some thistle. Necktails are easy for me to get. But yeah, I can brew the potion while I build the wall. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I need to rebuild some of my older places so badly. My building skills have dramatically improved, and now by comparison, some of my older haunts look actually quite bad. Still don't see anything. Oh. Right, let's head up into the Black Forest. We're on the hunt for thistle here. Corewood wouldn't necessarily be an awful thing. I'd actually quite like it. But mostly, we're hunting for thistle. How's the music, by the way, peeps? Do let me know. The general audio levels. Really? I haven't looted this place? Wow. Oh, there we go. Now I have. My lord. So annoying. Music is great. Audio is good. Thank you very much, everyone. Some blueberries. Wouldn't mind. Oh, wow, really? Okay, I guess we're going to go poke our faces into a dungeon as well, then. Not that I've got much room in my inventory. Ah, damn, Dragon Blast. Oh, you know what, though? This is an opportunity. I was just saying I wanted some core wood and such. I wonder if you can mess up a dungeon by dropping a tree on it. It's okay, Aavak. If you ever need to feel better about your builds, by all means stop by the house I'm going to build on the server, after familiarizing myself with the rules, of course. I'm sure you can see exactly how bad a building can look. Oh, I'm sure that isn't going to be the case, mate. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I can switch arrow without actually having to re-knock the bow. Nope. 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 Once again. Honestly, you're probably more dangerous by knocking trees down around me than actually because of anything you could potentially do with that tree you were wielding. Right, okay. Let's set up a little temporary portal spot here. Really? Rude. The other thing I could do is honestly just pop down a chest. Drop a load of the, you know, random gubbins that I've got. Because I don't need that key on me either, really thinking about it. Let's set up a portal here, though. And this is how I tend to move around. That should. Oh. Do we not have it? Have we not got it properly set up on the other side? Oh, that's worrisome. That's really worrisome, actually. That should not be the case. Let me drop down a marker here. This is almost certainly a burial chamber, but I am quite concerned about that. The swamp one has been renamed to Wraithguard. Or Wraith, rather. Might have been all caps. I'll head back and I'll double check. But yeah, that I'm glad that I tried that somewhere basically where it wasn't super important. Actually, you know. Come back here. I need your tails. We got one. It's a start, I guess. And there's a few more. Those saves, though. It always makes me worry when it stutters like that. That gives us 3. It's a start. Since there's more over here, I mean as well. Right. Let's head on back. See what we can do. Out the way, Gulp. It seems to set the more you build. That would make sense. Something busted up. Well. Okay, well that explains it then. Something broke it. How rude. May as well drop these off while I'm here. I'm not going to need the swamp key, since we're not going to the swamp just yet. I know. Clever scallywags, though. If you're going to break anything of mine, break my portal. That is going to be the biggest issue. We need another chest. Or I need to stop storing all of this honey there. Or just stop collecting it for a while. Probably more the latter than the former. It's nice to have large amounts of materials, but at the same time. Really? Oh my lord, you utter scoundrels. You broke this too. But this is why we need to get the palisade down. It's the first time they've broken something like that while I wasn't there, though. Yes, I'm punching him. Did not deserve a swift death after making me go through all of that rigmarole to get all of that fixed. My lord. Right. But, done now. Yeah, building the wall is looking a lot more important. Alright, well, let's head into this dungeon. We'll find out what it is. Burial chamber. Sneaky sneak times. Oh, hello. I guess not. Nice and easy. Now, I was told that the yellow mushrooms actually do respawn in dungeons. It's only the other loot that does not. Always explore the areas which are open first. At least that's my general tactic. Because the areas that are open can lead to something creeping up on me, basically. This will go into the main hall, I should imagine. That goes into the main hall. So, okay, so that's just a circle. I'm not going to be using my bow in here. But lighting a torch every now and then, just to have a look for any potential items on the ground, is always a good idea. Circling core. Once you're certain that the area is free of enemies, definitely worth having a quick poke around. We'll start eating the honey now instead of the carrot soup because we don't have carrots. Have I thought about taking down ruins? You get a lot of wood. That's actually a good idea. Is this game sort of what everyone hoped Cube World was going to be? That's an interesting... That is an interesting question. That is a loaded question too. I'm not sure I could answer that. I feel that... Kinda. Sadly. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is. Cube World was meant to be so much and really didn't live up to it at all, to be honest. And it's really, really a shame. But I just think the dev just wasn't ready for how much people wanted Cube World. And the more they described and showed snippets of what their plans were, not necessarily what was already in, but what their goal was, the more out of hand that got. And it's a shame. It does happen, though. Okay. We have here, got some coins. But that's it. Sausages. Did Cube World devs get a little scummy, as in abandoned ship after taking the money? I might be entirely wrong. I'm not sure that that is as simple as that. I really don't think it can be so easily summarized in that way, to be honest. The whole thing with Cube World was really sad, though. A lot of people were... Ooh, what on earth are you? Okay, I need to get in there close to take you out, because... Rancid remains. It's punk. Yeah, both of them down. Oh! Oh, apparently that's the first time I've gotten that one. Okay. But, it definitely gave a couple of people a bad aftertaste. Please. But again, I don't think it's as simple as they just didn't, they just took the money and ran. I think it honestly was a case that they just got overwhelmed. It was this little thing that they were doing and they were happy with and they were hoping would be something, and then all of a sudden it was enormous and it was everywhere and you had huge channels covering it, and I think it was just more than they were ready for. They didn't know how to deal with that. And I think it's very sad, but that's what it ended up being. Okay. Yeah, I really like the sword. Really like the sword. It's not even my highest weapon skill either. It's this good just because it's this good. Well, there we go. This place is now empty, and we ended up with a lot of circling cores from there. Wow. Can't wait till Aavak discovers what you do with the treasures. Very well. Cube World was a game made by one guy, with his wife doing some graphical design. Yeah, I hope the dev is okay as well, Amberkill. I mean, I know a lot of people put money on it, and that gives them, that entitles them to their disappointment when it didn't turn into anything, and to feel like something was taken away from them. But I'm also intently aware that someone, you know, more or less had a breakdown over it. You know, it's hard to have such heavy expectations weighing on you. Alright. Let's drop off a couple of things in here then. I do hope that they're doing okay. Bones, we need to drop off the hide, of which we have now a lot. A new trophy though. Very happy with that. There we go. No, they shouldn't be in there. Well, I guess technically they should, because they're Black Forest trophies, so yeah, okay. Circling calls. To 8 now. Nice. Have I ever dabbled in game design? Yeah. Yeah, quite a few times. I code. I've actually made and run, well, I say successful, it paid for itself. I coded from scratch a mud roleplay intense mud that ran for years and was making enough money to pay for its server costs and all of the advertising I did on it. I've made little games here and there ever since I was little, and had my cousins hand me down computers to learn how to code on. After, I'm trying to place it. Sometimes after because I got a hand me down Commodore 64. I wrote an assembler for that, and then a while after that wrote like text adventures for it. And once I was confident with that, I did little sprite games that I would basically, I showed my computer teacher, because like my friends had PCs. I couldn't like share with them the games I was making on the Commodore. But then when I got a PC myself, I made games on it, and would get told off repeatedly because people kept installing it on the school computers when they should have been doing their work. I mean, I can't say I wasn't pleased, but I probably should have been a little bit more tactful in how I dealt with that. Yeah, I've been making games for as long as I've been playing games, basically. Actually, no, I want to pop that in the weapons chest. Yes, I got told off for others installing the game because I gave it to them. It's kind of, you know, to say I wasn't partially responsible would just be silly. I was partially responsible for it. Oh, I've got a torch on me that I really shouldn't. I need to drop that off. I think tools or weapons. I can go into weapons. Sure. But yeah, I've done all sorts of things. For a while, I played, like, before Minecraft came out, I've always had this thing where I basically code in my head before I go to sleep. It's how I settle my mind a bit before I actually do get to sleep, because sometimes that does not come easily for me. These carrots are going to be used for seed carrots. One of the things I did was I was kind of hashing out an isometric game with tiles where you could build a world and like you could modify the terrain. Basically Minecraft, but isometric and with golems. The idea was when you logged off, the golems were active and you could kind of program the golems. Not actual code, but you would have to set them up with commands so that they could do things while you were away, and that would be like the core component of the game. They would gather for you and protect you while you were logged off. I was always into multiplayer games more than single player, though one of my kind of design paradigms, I guess, or philosophies perhaps is the better word, was that you make the game fun in single player. The addition of more people, whilst it'll need a little bit of balance tweaking, will generally make whatever base game you've got more fun, not less. I mean, there are big exceptions to that rule, but that was generally the way I thought about it. So I would, even though I was always making games to be multiplayer, I would try to make them fun if you were playing them on your own, and then just try to balance it then with interaction. Like one of the games that I got most in trouble for, that people kept installing, was basically a little networked like trade thing. It was the stupidest, most basic game you could imagine. It was all text, because back then I wasn't playing with graphic engines or anything like that. But basically, you ran a little space station, and you had very limited resources: food, oxygen, water, and it wasn't anything like before you start thinking, oh, oxygen not included. No, it was nothing like that. It was a trading, like, tycoon game. You managed the needs of the people that lived there, and you kind of gave them jobs and stuff like that, and then the product of their jobs you sold in order to buy more resources. But it implemented a kind of a stock market, I guess, in that the market was what other players were willing to sell their stuff for. Like you could have people working on machines which produced like the hydroponics, so that they made food, it made oxygen. Or maybe they'd be working on art, which could be sold to the kind of the NPC trader for a flat amount of money. And that was always there. Like, you could always sell things to the NPC trader, but it was always a bad price. Like, it was, well, almost always a bad price. Sometimes players were offering much worse prices, but most of the trading was between other players on the network and their space station. So, you tended to have little economies going on. But that got in the way of a lot of stuff, because people would be doing that while they were in their lessons. Which, like I said, it was I to blame for what other people did? Not strictly. I wasn't forcing them to, but I definitely enabled the decisions. So I kind of get why I was getting in trouble as well. Hello. No thanks. Nope. Please be dead. Okay, now that you're gone, I can deal with the rest of you. Thank you. There's skeletons over there. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat at the moment. I'm in a bit of a dangerous place to be doing that. Hi. Okay, never mind. Once I've gotten rid of these enemies, I'll read up what's going on in chat. There we go. Whew. Let's have a look. Let's see. I had a Commodore 64 growing up. It's what got me into computers and programming. A really good system to learn how to code on. Honestly, a really, really good system to learn how to code on. It was very... I mean, I understand when at its time, it was like revolutionary. But even well after its time, it was actually still a really good system. I had a lot of old computers. Again, hand-me-down. My family weren't very, very wealthy. My cousin was super into computers, and like he collected all sorts of computing magazines and things like that. So I learned a lot of my programming off those. Early days, anyway. I learned a lot of what I could, like, I don't know. The thing the magazines taught me more than anything else is how to imagine what I could do. And that might sound a little bit like, you know, what exactly do I mean by that? But hopefully some of you get where I'm coming from with that, because I'm not really sure how better to explain. You scoundrel! Stop breaking my stuff, my lord. And then, and you, and your friend too. Ouch. Okay, maybe not. My goodness, the amount of things I've had to just kill there. Fine. Pick everything up and go back through. Bomb. I'd honestly like to get an old Commodore and an old DOS computer. That was well before my time. Ever thought about getting back into Memoria? Yeah, occasionally. Let's see. A Viking we shall go. A Viking, rather. You're just describing there a game I'd happily play myself. Which programming languages do I know? It would probably be easier for me to tell you which ones I don't know, and that's Python. Don't know at all is Python. I've never coded anything in Python. The very, very young coding languages that are out right now, like that have only been out for like 5 or so years, probably those. But I've dabbled in a little bit of everything. Coding is something I really enjoy doing, so I just do it. Basically how it goes. That should not be in there. That should be over here. Stones. Yeah, Python stands out as one of the main ones that I've really not touched. Know nothing about it, effectively. Give me a little bit of time, and I probably know a decent amount about it, or at least be able to code it. One of the things I used to pride myself on is if you gave me a bit of code and just left me with it, I would be able to break it down just from looking at the patterns. If I was able to adjust the code and then see the results, I would be able to get quite far with it, actually. I really enjoy coding. As my math teacher used to say as well, that I've got the sort of mind that makes me problematic when it comes to mathematics, but very good at computing. I don't know. I just see the patterns with computing and the logic in it a lot better, and then that leads to very weird assumptions about mathematics that aren't always true. There we go. In fact, when I was crunching for my GCSEs, that was one of the things my tutor had to unpick in my mind a bit. Because I would go at it as if, you know, when I was dealing with formulas, I would approach it from like as if they were variables in a computer program. And that is not how mathematics works. I think we got a few thistles. That's probably enough to get me a couple of potions. Treasure needs to be renamed to Shiny Gubbins. You know what? You're probably right. What I also need to do is, sadly, I probably need to bring the food out here. Yeah, I could, if I actually took the time to sit down with Python, I could probably, you know, draw connections to other languages I know very quickly. That's usually how it went, actually. I need a lit fire. Well, okay, let me go and grab some fuel then. Munchy Gubbins.